Praise the Lord. I'm Bishop O.W. Prince, and I would like to welcome you to the Master's Table Newsletter Commentary. I've entitled today's commentary, The Black Man's Pain and the Black Woman's Shame. Today's message could easily be subtitled, Restoring the Black Man to His Divine Position. Hopefully, you'll understand the reasoning behind this title as the commentary unfolds. In the course of my African-American journey, I have observed some disturbing things in the black community, particularly where it concerns the relationship between the black man and the black woman. There has been a significant moral decline in the black family that we can no longer ignore. Allow me to point out some of the identifying indicators of the decline of the black family. First, we as a race of people in America have mixed up our priorities. We have tried to go outside of the laws of God to correct our relationship problems, but we cannot correct anything until we bring the family back in compliance with God's divine order. See, family is the cornerstone and building block of any society, and without a healthy, functioning family, there will be continuous chaos. Secondly, the black woman, for the most part, is out of control. She has refused to allow the black man to give her any direction on anything. The black man is out of her life altogether except for a sperm donor. The black woman has failed to recognize that the black man is hurting and that his failure to function to any appreciable degree in this country is not his fault, but was bred into him through slavery. He is forced to operate in a system that was not formulated by him, for him, or with his success in mind, but was thrust upon him without his consent or input. Third, a family is like a nation, and in every nation you must have one head of the government, and in every nation the people of that nation must cooperate with the head of that nation in order for that nation to be successful. If not, you have anarchy, chaos, and disorder. And that is what we have now in our black homes, because the man has been displaced, dismissed, and devalued. The black woman has not appreciated the importance of the black man in the home. For the most part, the black woman has ignored God's divine order that states in 1 Timothy 2 that Adam was formed first, then Eve. And in 1 Corinthians 11:3, that man is the head of the woman, and that he is the image and glory of God, whereas she is the glory of the man, making her of a lesser rank than the man. Most black women have rebelled against this truth and have adopted the perverted position that a man must earn his rank as head of the household from her, as if she was a suitable judge of manhood. However, the man's position is not conditional. He doesn't have to qualify for it, as some women may argue. He is born with it. It is bestowed upon him by God, and nothing said can change this fact. Man is the head of woman. And fourth, the black family cannot be saved with just the black woman. The black woman has been deceived into believing and behaving as if she is the strongest of the species and the head of the family. She is strong, all right, but she is not the strongest, nor can she be the head. God forbids it. Now, what I'm putting forth here today is painful. And there are some ugly facts that we have to deal with. However, the black man has been suffering silently long enough and has had to deal and endure with these problems alone. It is time the black woman accepts her share of the responsibility and steps up to the plate and woman up to the truth. It's time she stops playing the victim when in fact she is the victimizer. Oh, I know that this isn't a popular message, and it has been my experience that women, black women in particular, become violent, critical, and out of control when they are made to face the ugly truth of their own behavior. They have become so accustomed to finding fault with the black man that they think that they are immune from criticism and evaluation. But I suggest that she take some medicine like the strong black woman she claims to be. Allow the medicine to circulate throughout her system. Allow it to work its way to the diseased and infected parts of her being so that healing may begin and the elimination of disobedience and disrespect, discord and disorder may take place. This is not an attack on black women as much as it is a diagnosis of the illness that has afflicted the black family. I do not believe that every black woman is guilty of everything that this lecture may uncover. However, I do maintain that there is a collective contribution by black women, whether intentional or not, that contributes to the breakup of our black families and the destruction of the black man and the future of our children to be able to function in society. The majority of contemporary black women have accepted the predominantly white woman's liberation ideology in its many facets, forms, and names that promotes independence and being one's own person, not realizing that these things lead to separation, loneliness, sexual perversion, lesbianism, single parenting, and relational dysfunctions. Many black women think that it is an honor to brag about the fact that they've got their own job, their own money, their own car, and their own home, so they don't need no man. Such commentary is a perversion of nature and contrary to the intent of God's design. Having material things has nothing to do with the natural need of a woman to desire a man. The black woman has always had a powerful impact in the life of the black man. She exercises a lot of influence in his life, whether he is doing something good or doing something bad. He does it mainly for his woman and his family, and he does it with her knowledge, support, and consent. That is why we have so many black men dealing drugs. His woman demands a certain lifestyle that he cannot otherwise provide for her unless he does something illegal. His woman knows that he is doing something illegal, and she supports it so she can get the money from the drugs and buy some of those fancy clothes she likes to wear, buy some of those expensive jewelry and fancy cars she likes to show off in, and living some of those magnificent homes that she likes to impress her family and friends with. The black woman, wives, mothers, and sisters alike, are just as guilty as their men are for selling drugs. But usually he serves the time while she enjoys the fruit of his crime, because black men have always risen to protect and shield their women from the effects and the hands of the law, regardless of how they are disrespected by that woman. Nevertheless, the black woman has a lot of power over her man, and she has shown a lot of strength, but she has used her power and strength in the wrong direction and has not taken responsibility for the misappropriation of that power in the destruction of her man and ultimately the destruction of her family. Now, the family should consist of a parental coalition of a man and a woman. To raise a child, there must be a coalition of a father and a mother. Not two men or two women, but a male and a female. As Rob Bass and Easy Rock once said, it takes two to make a thing go right. There must be a parental coalition when raising children, and increasingly the coalition is missing in the black family. One of the major contributors to the breakdown of the black family was the white woman's women liberation movement. This movement was only introduced to weaken and break down the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality in an American society that had murdered, slaughtered, raped, lynched, and dehumanized their foreparents. The white woman's liberation movement was thrown in the mix to dilute the civil rights movement by making it a woman against man thing. This created a big separation between black men and black women because that meant that everybody needed to go for themselves. Black women should have never had anything to do with the women's liberation movement. The black woman has never been under the control of the black man in America. So what does she have to be liberated from? The black man in America has never been allowed to acquire enough national wealth and power to exercise systemic injustice and equality over the black woman. That was the white woman and her man's problem, and not the problem of the black family. Racism, discrimination, segregation, and injustice were our problems. Another contributing factor to the breakdown of the black family was the welfare system. Many of you listening might remember that the welfare system told black women that in order to house, clothe, and feed her children, that she had to get rid of her man. However, when the white farm wife went to the government for subsidy for the farm, they didn't tell her to get rid of her man. They kept that white family together. This kind of ethnic demolition and dismantling of the black family has been a part of America's culture since slavery. It had just taken on a more subtle approach over the years, making it desirable that the man be absent from the family in order for the woman to receive more public assistance or government welfare. This was done to interject into the black community the notion that the black man didn't love his children and that he was no good and that he is not deserving of respect or of the God-ordained right to provide, protect, guide, and direct his household, and somehow or another the black woman is the head and backbone of the black family. Many of our black women have accepted and repeated this lie as if it were a badge of honor. Well, let us examine what the black woman has produced while she allegedly was heading up and backboning the black family. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, 1 in every 4 black males between the ages of 20 and 29 were imprisoned, put on parole, then arrested, or had some negative encounter with the law. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, over 35% of black males were put in prison, even though they made up less than 10% of the overall United States population. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, more black men were in prison than enrolled in college. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, 6 out of every 10 black men between the ages of 10 and 44 have become unemployed, jailed, developed some sexually transmitted disease, become homosexual, or on drugs. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, over 70% of black teenage girls have engaged in sexual activity without the benefit of marriage, been sexually molested, had a baby out of wedlock, or while in high school, or experimented with lesbianism. While the black woman allegedly was heading and backboning the black family, 1/3 of black children dropped out of school before they graduated. Countless black children have been murdered by their black mothers without the knowledge or consent of their father through abortions. So without a doubt, while she was backboning the black family, the black woman has had a very powerful and significant impact on the black household and the black man. She can make heaven or hell for the black man, and she can decide what baby is going to live and what baby is going to die.